One song concert time, and you're just going to have to deal with the poor angle of the camera that makes me look older and fatter than I probably am. I will talk about instruments and the song and everything. I'm going to be doing the Wild Rover, and I did translate 2 lines into Mohegan because that is the folk song process. So let's see if I can get through this. I might just keep going if I mess up because, yeah, I've only been practicing this song like a couple of days. I've been a wild rover for many's a year, and I've spent all me money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's ma-ta, ma-ta, ma-tom, ma-ta, ma-tom no more. Well, I play the wild rover, ma-ta, ma-tom no more. I went to an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can't get any day. And it's ma-tom, 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 ma-tom no more. Well, I play the wild rover, ma-tom, ma-tom no more. I took from my pocket 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She says I have whiskey and wines of the best, 'cause the words that you told me were only in jest. And it's ma-ta, ma-ta, ma-tom, ma-ta, ma-tom no more. Well, I play the wild rover, ma-ta, ma-tom, ma-tom no more. I'll go home to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And when they've caressed me as oft times before, I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's ma-ta, ma-ta, ma-tom, ma-ta, ma-tom no more. Will I play the wild rover, ma-ta, ma-tom no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, never, no more. Well, I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Yay! Well, I made up to 3 mistakes, but not past the 4, so I just kept going. What we have here is a baritone ukulele that I have named the Blue Heron because I painted it. This is my very first painted ukulele. I did the entire body, keeping with the original varnish because I liked that, so I did like a model pattern and everything. And I wanted to do a blue heron because to many of the eastern tribes, especially southeastern, that's a sacred bird. And, when I went through a kerfuffle with they were a new tribe, understand? They'd only been established for a couple of years, so, you know, they carry on about their traditions. But anyway, a blue heron visited me that day that I was unjustly treated. And so, blue heron is pretty important. And I probably will be selling this baritone at Viking Fest when I show up at Viking Fest. I don't know, because I like the idea of having painted instruments in my booth at the Ren Fairs. Everybody else has all the stuff that I already do, but no one has painted instruments. And since I already sell CD music, it just strikes me that it makes sense to also, since I wanted to paint instruments anyway. So I don't know. I mean, I'm having a hard time with this because when I started out, it's a Macala, and Macala is not one of the more high end instruments, and so its sound was so. And the back would push in easy. I noticed when I was painting and everything, it would just push in where the wood is thin. And now that I'm done, it's good and it's solid. And the tone of the instrument changed to a more rich, full sound. So now I'm torn. I was gonna sell it, but I turned it into a pretty cool instrument. I mean, it was buzzing right out the gate. Like, no matter what I did, no matter what I did, it was buzzing. And I thought it was my fingers, and I was blaming my technique and everything. And then my other ukulele, I took to the luthier, and they fixed it. It no longer buzzes. And so to learn how to handle my instruments better, I fixed the buzz on this. And I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll sell the other one and paint it. Because I'm kind of liking the blue heron. I'm having a hard time here, guys. So I probably am going to keep the blue heron. Okay, you guys just watched me completely talk myself into keeping the blue heron. You guys know that, right? But I have another ukulele that I will be having at the booth to sell. And I'm still working on the tone of it. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? It's supposed to be one of the more high ends. It's a Protege by Cordoba. I don't know. I'm still learning what's high end and what's not. I know Kala is one of the best, and I have a Kala, and I love its sound. This one will definitely be for sale. I had to order new strings when I was putting it together. Order new strings. They're going to come in, and I'll be switching out this particular string. So we'll give it a try. So Wild Rover, the song Wild Rover. Now, for those of you who follow me, you guys know that I like to research my songs. I like to try to find original lyrics if they're traditional, and go back as far as I can. And sometimes that's really hard. With House of the Rising Sun, or Rising Sun Blues is its name, actually. It wasn't that hard because there's two versions, and when you put them together, you get this entire story, so that it's more apparent that this particular song, through the folk process, probably does have some differences in lyrics and everything, but it's split probably because of space, time. It's a very long song when you do the whole thing together, but you get this entire story, and the debate of what it's about kind of ends when you get the entire story, you know. Well, it ends if you're a smart person. Doesn't sound bad. I've been a wild rover for many's a year, and I spent all me money on, don't know the D7 in this. Oh, that's a new chord for me to learn, guys. Anyway, so it turns out the Wild Rover is a prohibitionist song. It's propaganda. It's a propaganda song. And when you find some of the more obscure versions, I have managed to find, and I've only found a couple, and there's 200 versions. It's a 2 and a 0, but I can't remember if it's 20 or 200 versions of this song out. And one of them, the chorus actually changes the way I write when I'm writing my stuff, so that you start off with "I will never, no matter play Wild Rover," then you go to "Save Your Money," then you go to "Drinking is Bad." But it was originally written to illustrate that drinking is bad for you. You should be a good person and not be a wild rover. So I find it really ironic. It's so ironic to me that it's a bar song now. It's a drinking song now, but it wasn't meant to be that way. I actually can, in my head, picture the prohibitionist people up playing it on their little box top in the square. This is why you shouldn't drink, guys. Drinking is bad. Listen to our song. I actually can picture this, possibly with a ukulele. The full-size large guitars that we have now actually weren't out yet back in those days. Parlor guitars, like the one I've got in the back, that's got to be fixed. So yeah, funny, isn't it? And I thought, well, matom, matom. Because I sometimes do the Mohegan Language Project, and it's good for me to sing it once in a while so that I can get it down, and it's good for people who want to learn the language as well. So, but there's that. I thought it was really interesting. So this ukulele, yes, it will be for sale. I was originally gonna put a snake on it, and that is not what happened because I just couldn't conceive it, and it ended up with water. So, and I ended up doing like the headstock. It was a lot of fun. I definitely will be doing these more often whenever I get the stuff. I have it covered in a instrument gloss by Crystalac that actually is non-yellowing, unlike the resin that I've been playing with. And being as I also like to do boxes on occasion, I think I'm going to be switching materials and using resin a lot less. Um, because non-yellowing and this stuff comes out really hard. It's really that beautiful gloss. I learned how to gloss. I learned how to buff and shine. I actually cannot wait to get my hands on yet another spare ukulele or even a parlor guitar to do yet another one. But I do not know how much it's going to sell for. Um, I got to tell you, the lacquer is not cheap. So I also learned the difference in paints. You can use acrylic paints on your ukulele, but Crystalac, the company that I decided to go with, they actually have instrument paints that I will be collecting. But what I learned was that when it comes to acrylic paints, there's two kinds. There's fugitives and then there's light fast. Fugitives are the ones that will fade, maybe not in a year, but they'll fade eventually. And so if you're wanting something to be heirloom quality and you're using acrylic paints, you don't go for the fugitives. And the fugitives are the cheap ones, the Liquitex, the ones that are like a buck something a bottle, you know. The light fast ones actually have a chart according to how light fast they are. And this brand's like Liquitex, and in Hobby Lobby and art stores they have like their own section. They're usually, you know, and they have these fancy tubes, and they'll have on the back, you know, light fast is excellent, and or good, you know, good is like 100 years, excellent is like 1,000 or something like that. But it was really funny because I picked up one and I was like, well this one is light fastness excellent, and you know, this one is like 3 stars. I can remember I was telling my husband, well, what's this one? Because he had the chart on his phone. We're looking up, so I can decide what best high quality stuff to get for this project. And he's like, well, that one's not going to fade for like 1,000 years at least because it's got like so many stars. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, what color is it? And I was like, of course it's not going to fade, Tim. It's clear. So, all right, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you enjoyed my one song concert and my information. And I will see you next time.